Hi guys, this is Mac here, and I welcome you all to my live session, which is called I'm so sorry. Hi guys, this is Mac here, and I welcome you all to my YouTube channel, which is called Mac Vlogs. So my guest for today is Mr. Hamid Saeed. He is an image and a wardrobe consultant all the way from New York, and we're going to be learning from him today how to dress up. I think I look good, right? So let's introduce him to all my followers and audience today and learn how we should dress up ourselves in this corporate world for the parties and for the people who wants to watch us to look smart. So good afternoon, Mr. Hamid Said Saab. How are you?
Good afternoon, good evening. I tell you something with your introduction. It has so much energy, so this energized me. I'm doing great, and I look forward to having a great session with you. And hopefully, we'll give a lot of dressing tips to all the audience that who are listening to us.
Definitely. So before we begin, I would like to add here that Mr. Hamid Saeed is a really amazing personality and a professional, and he travels around the world and he helps people in the corporate world. So I would like you to give a little bit of intro about yourself so my follower and audience can connect with you, and then we will take our session forward with interesting questions and to educate the people how they should be looking smart, handsome, and beautiful. Please go ahead.
Okay, let me just give like a 2 minutes elevator speech about myself. Okay, it's nothing about bragging about myself, but I'll share my experiences with you, and also tell you why I'm relevant to this topic and why I'm relevant to today's session. First of all, I'm a graduate engineer from Pakistan, so that's where everything began. And what I learned from there was logic, rationale. So anything we'll speak today, we'll talk about, why is this way, and we'll talk about rationale. So if I'll tell you, you should wear this color or that color, I'll give you a rationale for this. Your eye color, your skin tone, or your hair color is like that, so you should wear, colors like this. So I'll give you rationale. So that's what
Sure.
I learned from engineering, and then I did my next education was MBA. That taught me how the business world operates. So if I'll tell you that a banker should look like this or an accountant should look like this, I mean I know who they are, I know the lingo, I know the bottom line. So that helped me a lot to learn how the business world operates, and I'm going to bring a wealth of information in regards to that. So that's my second qualification. So third qualification, which is the training in my image consultation and fashion design, went to FIT, Fashion Institute of Technology, the fifth largest university in the world for fashion and image and all that. So I learned the techniques, I learned the ropes there. So I have a lethal combination. Engineer and then MBA and then finally a fashion designer. So what I'll bring to you is, a very, very comprehensive, well thought out, and rational program. And in the end, I'll share with you, maybe in the beginning, as soon as my host allows me, what's the formula there? What's the dressing formula? And inshallah, I'll share with you in detail. Only a few more things I want to say about myself. That I have dressed Governor of New York. I've dressed President of Bar Association of New York. I've dressed, Jerome Schwartz, who was the inventor of, barcoding, and a lot of, very high professionals and politicians and businessmen, Fortune 500 companies. And
Wow.
not only have dressed them, I've also trained, their companies, all the big consulting companies, you might have heard about them, KPMG, Deloitte, Price Waterhouse, and Young. And then in the financial sector, I have worked training, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley, Goldman Sachs, American Express. I mean, these are the top brand names. So I have done training for them, for their staff. I've dressed their, I would say, executives and MDs and the CEOs. And I must have dressed more than 50,000 men and women in my lifetime, about 20 some years. So I
Wow.
have, like I said, I am lethal when it comes to the knowledge and all that. And inshallah, very humbly and discreetly, I will, share with you all my experiences. So that's my brief introduction. Oh, the last thing I want to say is why I'm here in Pakistan. You might say like, okay, a guy with your credentials and this and that orbit, what is he doing in Pakistan? So let me tell you, this was my motivation why I came here. Um, it happens to like most of the Pakistanis who live there abroad for a lot of years, and then they start thinking about this. That for example, I thought about like I've done a lot for myself, my family, my business, but what I've done for my country. So this kind of a thought, does come through our minds, and then some people don't do anything with those thoughts, and some people do, and that Dr. Qadir Khan came here with a monumental project, and thank God he came here, and we are safe today because of Allah and because of him. And same way Shaukat Khan. I mean, there are a lot of things that a lot of prominent Pakistanis have brought back from overseas. And so I don't say that I have that such a substantial transfer of technology or anything like that. But I tell you something, I thought that grooming is definitely needed here in Pakistan, especially with youth and professionals. They have no idea what to wear, how to wear, and what situation. So that's why I came to Pakistan. And let me tell you this right now, I'm a visiting faculty at Civil Service Academy, which is the top, I would say prestigious institution. I'm also visiting faculty at Punjab Judicial Academy, Government Engineering Academy. I do also the program for LUMS executive program, and so many universities and colleges, and I'm touching youth there. So I am so blessed, and I tell you something, I'm having the best time of my life. So here we go.
Fantastic, fantastic. That's really full of energy, which we can see from you now. Is that I'm really so excited and happy to have you as my guest today. It's simply because if you can see me the way I have been dressed up, it's simply because you motivated me. And the topic which we have today, again, is how to increase our confidence and the self-esteem by the dress ups we wear, for the different occasions and stuff. So by looking at your personality, I feel that you are a very easygoing person and people can approach you in a very simple manner. So it's really my humble request to you that you should be connecting with millions and millions of people because of your personality. So before move further, just a very simple question I would like to add and start my session with all the
Hmm.
questions which I have lined up for you is how can people improve their fashion sense by looking at the people? What do you have to say on that?
Well, first of all, they should know the basics. I mean, if you don't know the basics, there's no way that you're going to improve the dressing sense, because it's not like, a magic wand that I'm going to do this and then all of a sudden this guy's going to learn everything about dressing. So let me tell you,
Mhm,
first of all, you have to be convinced and sold on this first. So let me, build my case first, and then we get into this, how to do it. Building the
sure.
case is this, that this is where I start my presentations wherever I go, and I always say that when you enter in a room, for a presentation or for a conference or for a meeting, or for that matter, job interview, or even like for a personal, social contact, whatever you do, before
Mhm,
you utter a single word out of your mouth, let me tell you this: that you have told everything about you. Okay, so what are those things, non-verbally? How do we communicate? This is like before uttering a single word out of your mouth. It's
mhm.
called non-verbal communication of clothing, and I'm an expert on non-verbal communication of clothing. So you're going to be learning a lot from here. So you
Okay.
must have heard about first impression is the last impression. You must have heard about also first impression is a lasting impression. All right. So you walk into
Mhm,
a room, and again, you haven't said a single word. So what are you telling about yourself, silently speaking? So the first thing that you speak about yourself through your clothing, through your appearance, through your attire, through even your personality, your aura, your whole package, is that what socioeconomic level you belong from. Okay. Now I'm not talking about philosophically. Should we do it? Should we not do it? We do it. Consciously, unconsciously, we do it. So
mhm.
we decide that, or people decide who are looking at us, and we, by the way, it's a two-way street. We decide about them, we make a judgment about them, they make a judgment about us. So,
Mhm.
it's like, okay. How, where do you belong from? Do you belong from a top, I would say, affluent segment of society, or you belong from a middle class family, or you belong from a lower middle class family, or lower, or even poor, or you could be from a village. Now this is
Mm-hmm.
exactly the perception that people get from as soon as we walk in.
True.
Now, it's not really important that where do we belong from. What's important is, do we look well groomed? If we look well groomed, you're on your way. I mean, no problem. You can go anywhere in the world. You can go any place. You'll be well accepted. Actually, while talking about this, I'll tell you this. I'll give you a tip. In all over the world, there are two equalizers, I would say. One is
Okay.
education, and the other one is dressing. So if you look the part and you have the right education, let me tell you this: nobody can discriminate against you. You can go anywhere in the world, and you'll be accepted just like people who live there. So that's the very first thing that people judge about us, and we judge about them. Second thing is extremely important, that what people judge you about, and that is how successful you are. Trust me. I mean, you walk in, you didn't say a single word, and people will say, okay, how successful this person is. Now, again,
Mm-hmm.
my engineering logic comes in. So if you don't look successful, then what do you look? I mean, obviously, you look unsuccessful. So, I always ask this question: how many people? And I've addressed, thousands of people sometimes in one shot, and I've addressed, hundreds of people. I always ask them, do you want to look unsuccessful? And not a single hand is raised that, oh, I want to look unsuccessful. And I tell you something: if you think, a lot about yourself, you think you're a smart guy, you think you are very educated, you think you have a lot of talent and everything, and you don't need dressing. I mean, I know that you have to, education is important. I mean, that's the first thing. And you have to have the skill set, you have to have the experience, you have to have the track record and all that. But having said that, after that, let's say if you don't look successful, let me tell you this: it's going to be a very tough battle ahead of you. So
Mm-hmm.
I always tell them, I say, look, if you're that smart, then how about if you also look the part? If you also look the part, it's going to be double whammy. I mean, hey, you're a smart guy and you look smart. I mean, I mean, what could beat that? So that's the second thing. And the third thing is even more important than that: how confident you look. Again, I tell you something. I've seen a lot of people not selected for the job, not getting promoted, not getting a career opportunity, not getting a business deal. If you're a businessman or whatever, you represent that, or not able to, effectively sell their startup because they didn't look confident. I mean, wouldn't you? I mean, I'm asking you, Matt. Would you hire somebody who's not confident? I mean, obviously not, right? Would you do business with somebody who doesn't look confident? Absolutely not. Again, the
No.
thing is, even if in a social setting you're meeting somebody and somebody's not, like, he doesn't look confident, you'll say, why to hang around with this guy? He's a loser, whatever. So you must look confident. That's the third thing. The fourth thing is, you must look competent. I mean, people might think like, oh, competence is up here, and when I'll speak and this and that, I'll make my presentation. I'm going to show who I am. But let me tell you, we are talking about just like you walked in, my friend. By the way, all these things happen in first. People say 30 seconds, but now the time is going so fast nowadays. Everything is like on a fast track. So it's 7 seconds, my friend. In 7 seconds, five. Now, you know how quickly 7 seconds go? One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven is gone. In 7 seconds, they are making all these judgments about you. You're making judgments about them, and they're making judgments about you. So,
Okay.
do you look competent? I mean, if you don't look competent, let's say, for example, if you're built all over the lot and your shoulders are going, south, north, whatever, and your shirt collar doesn't fit you, and you have something like, it looks like either you're wearing a tent or you're wearing too tight clothes. How do you look competent? You don't look competent. If you cannot work on your body, which is 5 to 6 feet tall, how could you work on a project and claim that you can do a fine job? So that's how people judge you. And also, the next thing is how knowledgeable you are. I mean, believe it or not, again, you're giving those messages from your clothing, your attire, your personality, your presentation, everything, personal presentation, that how knowledgeable you are. And then the, last few things. I mean, education. I mean, it's a mundane thing to say. I mean, if you're educated, you should look educated. I mean, it's a very simple logic. I mean, there's no big, science in it. So imagine if you are well educated, you have PhD, you have so many degrees and everything. And when somebody looks at you, you look messy, disheveled, you look like sloppy, you look like who did and ran. I mean, come on, man. I mean, yes, you might, be the smartest guy in the world. You might be able to convince in the end. I mean, I will give it to you, that you are a very intellectual guy, and as soon as you speak, you're going to be all over the people and everything, and they're going to, lay flat over there for you and everything. It could happen,
You
but
know,
in
since
most cases, it doesn't. In most cases,
since
it doesn't.
you have traveled around the world and you have given your time to all the top celebrities in Pakistan and abroad, but there is a thin line. I think the mindset, basically, if you see in the different countries when they dress up for the corporate world or for the event or for the award shows and all that thing, they really, really keep all the minute things in the mind, how they should be dressed up, right?
Absolutely. Two more things, then I'll finish, and then we'll go to the next thing. Two more
Sure.
things, which are the overriding, everything what I just said so far.
Okay.
Trustworthy and credible. If you don't look trustworthy, you don't look credible, people cannot believe in you. Believe it or not, you're not gonna make it. I mean, you might make it like to a small level and all that, but if you have high aspirations, if you wanna go to the top in everything, believe it or not, you're and then okay, so all these things. I mean, you cannot put a sign here, I'm a successful guy. You cannot put a sign here, I'm a confident guy. You cannot put a sign here, I'm a knowledgeable, competent guy. You can also put a sign here that I'm trustworthy and credible. If you will say that, oh, trust me, you'll sound like a salesman. I mean, people are gonna say, what? Well, why are you saying this like, so many times that trust me, trust me, trust me. So if you can't say it, and if you can't, put a sign here, so you have only one medium left to say all these things about you, which are the good things, and that is your appearance, that's your attire, that's your personality. And so I rest my case. I mean, if somebody says that, oh, no, no, it doesn't matter, I think she should think again.
Okay, let's jump to the color sequence. Like there are different colors, right? When we choose, like people when they want to choose their dress up for different occasions, they take a lot of time in choosing different colors for their occasions, whether it's for the party, it is for the meeting, or it is for any event, which they need to attend with their attires. So I want to understand from you the different colors, which could be red, blue, green, pink, purple, yellow. Name the colors in this world. They define certain moods of a person's mindset when they choose those dress ups. So how do you define those colors and how you can select the dress ups for the occasions? So can we go by in numbers? If I say any particular color, what mood does it comes to your mind? If I say red, green, blue, yellow, can you define the colors for us, please?
Okay, sure, absolutely. I think I will kind of like structure this answer so that people will really understand. I understand the gist of your question. Okay, there are
Okay.
two aspects of it. Number one is what color represent what, means the connotation of color, meaning of color. I think that's what you are asking. And the other is that, how do I select that for certain meetings and all that? Okay, so these are two different animals here. So let me first of all talk about the connotation of colors first. Okay, by the
Okay.
way, this is part of my, 5 P's of dressing, which I have developed in the United States. And believe it or not, that's what had really impressed the governor of New York and top people and all that. Because, I mean, let's look at this. I mean, they were. I mean, it's not that I taught them how to dress. I mean, they were wearing suits, shirts, ties. I mean, since they are actually that's part of their culture. But what I
Mhm.
brought to the table was this: the 5 P's of dressing. And the first P is pigmentation. That's what you are referring to, and I call it pigmentation. Pigmentation means color. Color means eye color, hair color, skin tone. Means, okay, on your eye color, on your hair color, on your skin tone, what color looks best on you? And that's the
Okay.
science behind this. And actually, God has created us in different coloration and all that. And there are white people, there are black people, shiny blacks, and then they are in between. We are, somewhere in the middle, and then have Chinese and Japanese and all this. I mean, Allah
Mhm.
has given us identification, for different coloration. So you should know the background. I mean, because unless you understand the background, you will not understand what I am referring to and presenting. That why it makes sense that you should wear the right color. And the second thing, again, Allah has created everything wisdom. Without wisdom, He has not created anything in the world. Even a tiny whatever particle has a reason. So the reason for color, our different colors, is because on us, like for example, what colors look good on white people are not going to look good on us because our coloration is different. So you must remember this first, because this is where the myth lies. I have people that I consult people, and they come to my showroom and everything. And sometimes they come in with a picture. They want to show me this. They say, "Sir, I want to show you a picture." I said, "Okay, show me a picture." I already know what he's showing me. He's going to show me a picture, a white guy wearing a suit. And then he asked me this. He said, "How would I look in this?" And I kind of, not sarcastically, but like in a funny way, I asked him. I said, "Are you white?" He said, "No, I'm not white." I said, "So why are you showing me this picture? I mean, it has no relevance to you." And then he says, "Okay, may I show you another picture?" So then he goes there, and then he shows me some outfit on a dummy or mannequin. And then he said, "How would I look in this?" And I look at him. I said, "Again, you are, God has made you a person and everything. You're a living person. Why are you showing me something on a dummy or mannequin that looks good?" So getting back to this, the color connotation goes this way. Let's talk about suits first, okay? And then we'll talk about the shirts.
Okay.
The darker color projects authority. Remember this. The darker color projects authority. And the darkest color is black. So
Okay.
the most powerful color is black. Okay, so remember that.
Before
So
before
if you
you
want to look powerful, yeah.
before you proceed further, as per my knowledge, people say that you wear dark colors in the daytime, in the nighttime, and the lighter colors in the daytime. Is it correct?
Okay, this is also a biggest myth there, and it started 200 years ago with the army. They had that dress code that in daytime you wear lighter colors, and at nighttime you wear lighter colors.
Uh,
Here's the thing. I mean, the darker colors. Now, the whole world has changed since then. Okay, meetings take place during the daytime. Meetings don't take place at night. So, if you want to look powerful, I mean, if the light color is not powerful and the darker colors are powerful, and so if you're wearing light color, that means you're lightweight, and that means throughout the day you are wearing light color. The proof is this: is that you can pull up the G7 or G8, the presidents, all those group photo, okay, and see what they're wearing. You'll see them invariably wearing darker colors. Then they wear a white shirt, which I'll talk about, and then they're wearing power ties. So
mm,
this is a myth. This is not true. A darker colors or lighter colors. Actually, what you have to see is when is the meeting, what the meeting's all about. What are the dynamics. Now, obviously, if you go on a yacht and you have a beach wedding, I mean, you want to wear a white suit or white. I mean, it's all relevant there. But we're talking about business situation. We're talking about business meeting. So I would say that darker suits are the way to go. If you're gonna wear, the other thing I always say is the darker suits, you project authority. So that means that if you're wearing light suit, you're a lightweight guy. You have heard that heavyweight champion, lightweight champion. I mean, why would you want to look lightweight champion? You're a heavyweight champion. I mean, God sake, you're educated, you have experience, you have track record. So why you want to look lightweight? So anyway, darker color projects authority. So it starts the black suit. Next thing is what's after black suit. Now, let me tell you the problems and with the black suit. I mean, it definitely exudes power, but the problem is that you cannot wear it every day and all the time because it's very, very prominent and it's like very out there in somebody's face. I mean, if you wear a black suit every day, I mean, somebody's gonna say, here comes the guy with the black suit. So obviously, that's not gonna work. But you should have
okay.
it. I'll give you one example, by the way. When
Mm-hmm.
Imran Khan government came, it was just a new government, and they gave a message to America, and they said that we're going to talk in equal terms, and don't come here with like no more, do more policy and all that. We're not gonna go for it. On that day, Shah Mahmood Qureshi Saab, the foreign minister, what he was wearing on that day was so perfect. He was wearing his black suit, he was wearing his white shirt, he was wearing his red tie. I mean, I didn't dress him, but I tell you something, I was so happy to see him that he was in that power suit because the power dynamics was changed. I mean, before they used to come in these coloration, and I saw Pompeo on that day. He was in a lighter blue. I mean, not lighter, but somewhere mid blue. And so these are the dynamics of it. The next color, very, very important color, is a dark navy, which is my favorite color. Okay, so from black, if you can't wear black, first of all, you must have a black suit in your closet. Every gentleman should have one black suit. So when the time comes and he needs a powerful presentation about himself, he can wear that and for that dynamics of the meeting. The second color is the dark navy. Now the connotation for dark navy is this: it's powerful, but it's also approachable. In other words, you can say, "Hey, I look powerful, but you can talk to me." The other one is power, but intimidating, and this is power with approachability. And in most cases, like where we are, I mean, if you're running a business, or if you're running a company, or if you're a VP or whatever, sales, marketing, whatever, you need to have that power, but you also need to look approachable. So that's the second color. And then the list goes on. Then you go into, by the way, two other benefits of dark navy is this, that it fares well with all socioeconomic level people. So in other words, you're wearing a dark navy and you're dealing with somebody who's like, from affluent society or affluent, from somebody that he thinks like he's the it guy. He will also respect you. And you deal with like middle class people, they will also respect you. And the third is, if you go to like lower end, they will also respect you. They won't get intimidated. And the last benefit of dark navy suit is this, that you can get more mileage out of it. In other words, you can wear it like almost every day, change the shirt, change the tie. Nobody will know that you're wearing a dark navy suit. But black suit will just kind of like pop up there. And then there are three more shades, which is the light gray. I mean, not the light gray, but the light gray, and then the mid gray, and then they are the charcoal gray. These are the three grays. These are the six colors. I would say if you're a man and you're thinking about and you want to know everything about suiting, do not go for any other color, because these are the colors that which represent. Now let's talk about shirts. In the shirt, the most powerful shirt and the most versatile shirt and the most shirt that give you the bang for the buck, that's white shirt. Now let me tell you why white. I'm wearing white right now. White shirt means trust me. White shirt means credibility. White shirt means sophistication. White shirt means refinement. White shirt means decency. White shirt means sober. White shirt means I'm honest. White shirt means I'm pure. White shirt means I'm a peaceful guy. I'm not coming here to fight you, man. And then on top of that, Nabi Pak Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, I will
What about
talk about that. That's power. That's power. That's power, my friend. And you came and you look powerful, and more power to you. Okay. So the white shirt is that I am coming. You come in with power. I'm coming with like, okay, I got to talk to so many people. I want them to trust me. I want them to like me. I want them to, that I should look credible. By the way, I wear white shirt almost every day. I mean, I'm a shirt manufacturer. I must have to tell you this. I must have more than 200 shirts in my closet with every conceivable color, because I'm a fashion guy, so I like all the colors. But I have made all those shirts for me. But guess what? I wear every day. I wear like white shirts, because in the morning when I think about this, I said, okay, who am I going to talk to? Especially when you meet new people. You always people think like, okay, I have a meeting. I've never met this guy. This, that whole bit, and I'm going for a job interview. Obviously, you have never met the guy or gal who is going to interview you. तो उस दिन आपने क्या पहनना है उस दिन आपने again you're gonna pull out your white shirt, because white shirt is gonna be your best friend. इसके behalf में मैं आपको ये कह दूं कि there are a lot of other consultants. I'm not the only consultant in the world, and there are a couple that I like from England and everything. They go to this extent that 50% of your wardrobe is white shirt. So how about that? So this is goes the story with. I mean, I'm not saying that you shouldn't wear blue shirt, and there are other colors, blues, shades of blue, grays, and all that. So that is the story with the color.
Can you give some input about this, which usually people like to wear when they're wearing a suit? What does this thing
Pocket
define?
square, pocket square. Yeah, yeah. Okay,
What does
okay.
it
Let
define?
me let me. First of all, it's called pocket square. Okay, let me tell you a story about this, and then I think that will kind of like set the stage for talking about pocket square. Uh,
Okay.
obviously in New York, I had a client. He was a lawyer. He came to my showroom, and he was a very accomplished guy. Lawyer from law degree from Yale and everything. So he was like, I think he was about 5'2". I'm like 6'3". I'm a tall guy. So as soon as he walked in, he looked at me. He says, no matter what you suggest to me, and no matter what clothing that finally I'll wear from you, make sure that I get this thing. Can you give me this thing? So I said, this thing is called pocket square. So anyway, he said, whatever the heck. So I said to him, the my answer was, we will see. I didn't say yes. I said, we'll see. So he was a lawyer, he knew what I meant. I'm not giving him a definitive answer. So he said to me, he said, what do you mean that you will see? I mean, can't I afford to buy this? Is that what you're referring to? I said, no, no, no. He said, so can't I carry it? I said, we'll see. So actually, there is a litmus test for this, which I told him later on after his suit was done and everything. So I said to him, okay, now, he kept on saying, where's that thing? Where's the thing? And so I said, okay, here's the test. I said, go towards that wall, which was the, farther wall. I said, walk, and he walked normally. And then I said, I'm going to put this pocket square in your pocket and now walk towards me. And you know how he was walking? He was walking like this, like this. He like this thing carries so much weight. So actually, what happened is he became very conscious. So the dressing tip for this is that if you become very conscious of wearing this, please don't wear it. For that matter, any clothing. People ask me, should I wear a tie pin? I said I always ask them, I said, yeah, are you a tie pin kind of guy? And he said, what do you mean? I said, do you wear a tie pin? Have you worn a tie pin before? Have you walked while wearing a tie pin? He said, no. I said, don't go to the interview wearing tie pin then, because it's not, you're not going to look authentic. क्लोथिंग में आपने ये चीज याद रखनी है कि you must look authentic who you are, because if you don't look authentic, let me tell you this, it's not going to work. People are not going to buy you. They're not going to buy your ideas. They're not going to buy your concept, because they're going to think that you are a fake or a phony guy. So fake and phony is something that you're going to stay away from. Okay, now after that, having said that, now this thing is slipping. Okay, just let me fix it. Oh shit, what happened here?
It's okay.
Just
It's
give
okay.
me a sec. Just
I
give me
can
a
hear
sec.
you. Please go ahead. No problem.
Okay, let me just set it up here, and then okay, I'm good. All right.
Yeah.
So the should you wear, should you not wear? I mean, hey, listen, if you can, the whole idea in this is, can you carry it? You have the personality to carry it. And it's the same thing is somebody says, hey, should I wear a three-piece suit? I said, can you carry it? Now, when I look at the guy, I talk to him, he's always in Shawakami. He's always casual, he's always this. So I always tell him, I said, why do you want to wear a three-piece suit? Or, sir, I have an interview. I said, do you know that if you will wear a three-piece suit the very first time, you will not be able to know how to walk?
Yeah, but the
So
three-piece suits are always wear in the winter, right?
no, it's not. It's not necessary. It's not necessary. Again, three-piece is a I would say it's a statement that you're making about yourself, that you're a very formal guy, and you
Okay.
could look a very formal guy. It's not. It's nothing to do with season. But let me tell you that in Pakistan, always this question is being asked, like, oh, it's so hot here, it's so humid here. So I said, so why don't you walk naked? I mean, it's hot and it's humid. I mean, you're a professional. I mean, what are you? What are you? I mean, CSS, all these people that I train them. That's the first question. So it's hard and human. You know what they're asking me? They're asking me this, that I will give them permission to wear t-shirts and jeans and chinos and pants and sneakers and shorts. To me, that's streetwear. That's not even casual wear. So I tell you something. What is more important to you, your comfort or your career? That's the question. I mean, you go in there, somebody's not going to take you seriously. Somebody's going to think. In other words, another thing I tell you, and this is so much proven many times over. You
Mhm.
go looking casual, people will take you casually. If you think
Okay.
about what I said, people will think they will not take you seriously. And the other thing happens, and you can try it at home, and don't think like I don't know what the heck I'm talking about. You try it at home. Okay, this is an experiment you could do right now if you're sitting there. You wear
Mhm.
casual clothes and see how your posture is when you sit. Your posture becomes very casual. And then all of a sudden, the next thing is you're going to also like kind of slide. Then you're going to slide, then going to slide more. And then you're almost laying down on the sofa or something like that. Now, imagine if you're in a meeting, you will do that. The body does it automatically. It's not like you're not even conscious about that. So I always go on, like if I say, if you have to like go in a business environment, I always like prefer you go a little bit more formal than a little bit more casual if you're not sure. I mean, go a little bit. I'm not saying that you should wear a three-piece suit. So I would say that the answer to your question is this: pocket square, tie pins, anything flashy or anything like more like I mean, and designer shirts, any more designs and all that. I would say that if you can't carry it, I stay away from that. In most cases, it's a distraction. Okay. Now, how to put it together is usually I tell you what I like. I don't like the tie with the same pattern pocket square. I think it looks very hokey. I think it looks very contrived. So I would say you take the shirt and take the shirt, whatever the color is, and you can match the pocket square. I think it gives you the balance and it gives you a great look. I always do white with white. So if I'm wearing a blue shirt, I'll go by blue. I don't care about the tie. I mean, tie has to match with the outfit, but I don't go with the tie and that. Now I like your iPhone. Aesthetically speaking, what you're wearing, because you took that gold from there. I think it's gold, right? And that goes very nice with that. That gives like a kind of a touch to that, and it's accidentally is actually put very nice together. And I believe there's a black in that tie that ties up with your shirt, so you look pretty. I mean, you look dandy. You look pretty, way up there, dapper, I would say.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me, basically, because I just love to dress up when I meet new people, as you mentioned earlier. That when you meet someone new, you need to give your statement by having a good attire, right? So I just feel like I need to give the respect to my guest by being dressed up really amazing to look cool.
Thank you very much. Exactly. This is, by the way, you have said something very fundamental, which I couldn't touch upon because I didn't talk about that topic. You talked about that when you dress up, you actually, first of all, you are respecting yourself, and then you are respecting others. And it's all about respect, because people get really pissed off. They get really, I mean, it could be a business meeting or it could be a job interview. Definitely, if somebody is taking your interview and all that, you could say, this guy is not showing me any respect. I mean, the biggest story that I can share you with that is Mark Zuckerberg, because wherever I go, he follows me. I mean, people ask me like, okay, this guy is very casual, da da da. How come you are saying that we should look more professional? This, that whole bit. Now, I'll tell you this. I mean, this guy does wear t-shirt and jeans every day. Same t-shirt, same jean. I know that. And his rationale is this: look, I have no time to get up in the morning and think about what color to wear, da, da, da. And then he says, that's why I wear, and I get right to work. I mean, the guy's rationale is pretty good. But does he do this all the time? I mean, this guy is actually, he's not like just a t-shirt and jean guy. He understands the dynamics and power of dressing. Because when he was like, his company was taken like, for that data breach that happened, and a criminal case was, against him in the Congress and Senate. You can pull out the picture where when he testified what he was wearing. On that day, he didn't wear t-shirt and jean. I mean, I tell you, I'm from the United States. I know pretty much the politics over there. Had he worn t-shirts and jeans over there, those senators, what they would have said? They would have nailed him, because they would have said, this guy has no respect for us. What does he think of himself? So on that day, he looked like, not only he wore suit like, I mean, you could, GQ magazine, which is the Bible of styling, he could be the cover boy of that. He looked so good. Okay, so it's the same guy who's wearing a t-shirt and jeans. Another
So,
example I could share, yeah. Yeah.
so
Another
how long?
example of him I can another
Yeah.
example of then another example of him I can share with you is this: that when he went to China the very first time, because the Facebook was banned there, he wasn't getting into the market, and how could you be not penetrating in a market of like 2.5 billion people? So finally he got the meeting with the president of China. Guess what he was wearing on that day? I mean, he pulled out again a beautiful. I mean, you can go there and Google it up. So he knows, he believes in the situational dressing. This is what I promote. I mean,
I see.
so don't think about this that those people don't know what they're doing.
So how long you're going to be in Pakistan, and when you'll be going back to US? What is your
Okay,
plan?
my story is this: I'm a U.S. national, and I go back and forth. I have a lot of contacts there, and still serve a lot of my clients and everything. But I am spending more time here right now in Pakistan because I love the response that I got from Pakistan. I am going right now from one town to the other, to the other, to the other. This year I'm going to travel 100 cities.
Yeah. Have you
Yeah.
set up your offices in all over Pakistan or just in?
No, no, not yet. Right now, I'm digitally presenting myself, and then I am in Lahore. I have obviously I have my showroom and I have my factory. By the way, we manufacture clothes. I mean, it's like all the things that I say, I actually manufacture it, because where the people gonna find the right fit? Where the people gonna find, if I say that your face shape is like this and your collar shape, like I have a longer face, and I go like a little bit spread because I want to balance my face, and and then I'm very trim here, then I go very trim here. Where am I going to find a shirt like that? So when I teach people that, I mean, I also give them an opportunity that if they want to get it made, I can make it for them. So I have been in manufacturing field for the last 20 years because I know it's like going to a doctor and the doctor gives you a medicine and then he says, oh, you say, okay, where am I going to find it? And you say, oh, this you cannot find it anywhere in the world. So what good is that consultation? So,
Well,
my heart is settled here right now in Pakistan, and I love it.
thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, Mr. Hamid Saeed Saab, for being a great guest of mine today. And I really feel honored that I learned a lot of things from you today about the dress ups and the attires for different occasions and stuff. So I think we are running out of time. So I would like to wrap up our session by just saying I would like to connect you to all the audience and followers of mine where I have mentioned all your details in the description area so people can go and watch and connect with you in Pakistan and around the world. So thank you. Before we
But I have
leave,
three. I have three brief messages that are final messages I want to give. If you allow
sure,
me,
please.
it will take me 1 minute. Okay. My first message is this: that you have heard me, and I talked about 5 P's of dressing. I talked about dressing formula and everything. I mean, what are your options? Number one is that you can go to a designer, and designer is going to be very expensive, and they don't design for professionals. They design for some out there occasion or whatever. So that
Mhm.
option is out. Second option, you can go to a tailor, and the tailor are good people and everything, but they don't have aesthetic sense. So
Mm.
and they ask you what to do. So blind leads the blind. So they're not going to be able to help you that much. And then the third place you can go to as a brand, and brand is just pushing their own product. I mean, they could care less, who you are, what you are, and they just want to push their product. And they might have never asked you this, before suggesting any clothing. What do you do for living, and what is your profession? So that option is not much applicable. And the fourth is the people like me, who the image consultants, and there are a lot of them out in the world. But in Pakistan, I'm the only one. So if you want to reach out to me, I'm available. I think you're going to put out my number. So that's
Yeah.
number one. Message number two. Message number two, what I want to give you is very, very important. This was about me, but second message is about you, and third message is also about you. And second message is this: that do you consider clothing as expense, or do you consider clothing as an investment? Let me tell you this: if you're going to consider clothing as investment, I think we're out.
Okay.
If you're gonna think it's an expense, then you're gonna go for cheap stuff. Then you're gonna go for make all the compromises. If you consider investment clothing as investment, then you're gonna make the right decision. You're gonna get the right collar, the right fit, 5 P's of dressing, which I didn't get the time to explain. But anyway, there's a formula for that. And
Sure.
then the third thing I want to say is this: that when you are your own personal brand. Remember that whether you like it or not, whether you know it or not, you are on your personal brand. So when you get up in the morning, then dress up and go in front of the mirror, the full view mirror, with the package, and look at yourself and say to yourself or ask yourself, do I look successful? Do I look competent? Do I look educated? Do I look trustworthy? Do I look credible? Do I look sophisticated? Do I look refined? All those things. If you don't, let me tell you this: it's not going to work. No matter what meeting you go to, what interview you go to, it's not going to be. So you should definitely dress every day and have a signature look. It's not about when you want to go to a wedding or party or something, you should look good every day. You must look good. So think about this: you're your own personal brand, and you have to promote your brand. You have to make it famous, and you have to establish your brand. So you are your own personal brand. Remember that.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
Mr.
very
Hamid.
much.
Before you leave, I would like to ask you, with my humble request, to add a small shout out for my YouTube channel so my audience who are listening getting a shout out from a great guy like you. Please.
I tell you something, the energy this guy has. I tell you something. He's the only one in Pakistan. I mean, I've been interviewed by so many people. He brings the best out of people like us. And I tell you something. Don't miss any of his shows. I will promote you, inshallah, on my channel. And if there's a guy out there bringing you all these, fabulous information, that's him. So just like follow him and follow him to wherever he goes, and follow his channel, subscribe them, and listen to everything what he brings on. I tell you something, he's adding tremendous value for all the audience.
Thank you so much, everyone, for this wonderful time by Mr. Hamid Said from his busy schedule. I really appreciate him to be my guest today. So before we leave, I would like everyone, so please go and press the bell icon and press the subscribe button on MacVlogs to keep supporting my channel so which it can grow eventually daily with all the wonderful people I keep on bringing. Thank you once again. See you with my another guest in my upcoming show. Thank you. Assalamu alaikum.